Welcome to another shave here in the Soap Thing project. This video is going to be the chosen one for the month of March. The member of the chosen 12 for this month is this soap right here, Murphy & McNeil Olde Bushmalt. And the theme for this month was it had to be a St. Patrick's Day scent. I realized that I just did a St. Patrick's Day video, and in fact I used a Murphy & McNeil soap. But what can I say? I really wanted to use Cliffs of Moher, and finally I just lost my nerve and couldn't wait any longer, so there's that. In any case, the soap that lost the coin toss was 345 Soap Company Phineas, which was a Irish Spring type scent. Good stuff, by the way. If you have a chance to pick that up at some point, if they decide to re-release it, definitely go ahead and do that. Let's talk about this one now. Let's talk about the Olde Bushmalt. So this is $22.99 for 4 ounces. It is in their Sláinte soap base, which has stout beer, goat milk, mutton tallow, duck fat, beef tallow, castor oil, cocoa butter, glycerin, shea butter, lanolin, and tussa silk, among other things. I do have the matching aftershave. This is an alcohol-based aftershave. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Denatured alcohol, witch hazel, aloe, glycerin, green tea extract, a lot of good stuff in here. Murphy & McNeil Olde Bushmalt. The razor is going to be the Edwin Jagger 3ONE6 316 stainless steel, made in the UK. Good razor. It's kind of picky about blades. My particular shaving habits only work with certain blades, and I've been continuing to experiment with which ones work, which ones don't. And I'm going to try a Supermax blade. These are supposed to be good for sensitive skin. I see it in a lot of sample packs that are kind of oriented towards people with sensitive skin, so that's going to be the blade. And the brush is going to be my 22mm HL Thader 4125. 22mm 2-band fan for this one. Badger brush, yeah. Okay, let's do a shave. Okay, days of growth on this face today. Oh boy, more than 3. So whenever I have 3 or more days of growth, shaving starts to hurt a little bit. So hopefully I have a pretty forgiving blade, because I have some thick, coarse facial hair that doesn't like to be shaved. Either way, we have the Murphy & McNeil Olde Bushmalt lathered into the Langley City Shave Bowl with a pretty strong 4 out of 5 scent strength in the sniffle-meter. I mean, this stuff is no joke. Okay, let's put it on the face. So I had a comment in one of my previous videos from HD Shaves, well, more or less a question. He was asking how I'm able to have all this artisan stuff shipped out here to Turkey when international shipping is usually very expensive. Well, if you're on a U.S. military base, a U.S. military base has a U.S. post office. So the shipping cost is no different than domestic shipping. Well, it might be ever so slightly higher, but it's considered domestic mail. So rather than paying an astronomical amount for international shipping, it stays in the U.S. Postal Service network. And the cost is not much different than shipping a box from New Hampshire to Kansas. So that's the answer to that. Okay. Now, Edwin Jagger 3ONE6 with a Supermax Platinum. Here we go. Not bad. Not bad at all. I might have to get a bigger pack of these if this turns out well, because that was pretty smooth. Okay. Before we go any further, let's whip out the iPhone cheat sheet, because as much as I would love to memorize all this stuff, my tiny little brain cannot do that. For the scent notes, we have plum, whiskey, cedar, balsam, and vanilla. It's simpler than it smells. It's based on Killian. I can't remember what the exact scent is, but it's from the men's fragrance by Killian. It's a niche fragrance. I'll put the exact name of the fragrance down here. But Killian makes some fairly expensive niche fragrances, no different than like Parfums de Marly or Creed, things like that. But it's a boozy scent. It's plum forward. So off the top, I get this dark fruit, kind of semi-sweetness. It's not overly sweet. But then once you get past the plum, it turns into a sweet whiskey malted sweetness really freaking quick. It's a sweet boozy scent, let's put it that way. Definitely getting a fair amount of sweetness from a couple different places. But it's got this kind of malted booziness to it that I find really interesting. That's probably coming from the balsam and the vanilla, if I had to guess. I am getting some vague kind of vibes of like Asian plum from A&E. It's got some of that dark plum kind of stuff going on. But this is a much boozier scent even than Asian plum. Asian plum is pretty boozy. This is even boozier. The whiskey note in this is much stronger. I don't get a lot of cedar. In fact, I don't get hardly any cedar. I think the cedar note is pretty much invisible for whatever that's worth. This is not a woody scent, not to me anyway. So, for whatever that's worth, this stuff is rich. Need to add some water to thin this out a little bit. Normally I like a lather with the consistency such that I can't see my skin through the lather. That would be ideal. And so naturally I tend to prefer a thicker lather, but if something's slick enough and I have the utmost confidence in its ability to help me get a good shave, then I start becoming less concerned about it. I better slow down because this has bit me before. I told a couple people that I thought this was blade feeling a little bit aggressive, and they straight up laughed at me. Like, I don't get it. It's one of those things where I really have to shave not the way I would prefer to shave in order to make it work. Now, if I change up my shaving habits to make this work, it's a phenomenal shave. It really is. So, but I really got to have the right blade and really be shaving with it the right way. It's not a razor that's going to forgive poor technique, at least not for me. Definitely not an autopilot shave. If I seem a little off or distracted, I've just got a lot of stuff on my mind. I'm putting together this vacation to take my wife to London. You know, I'm going to fly out to the west and she's going to fly east over the ocean. And we're going to meet up and spend about 10 days in London. And it's been a lot of like really having to pay attention to flights and scheduling, and then trying to find a hotel room that's not super expensive. We ended up getting an Airbnb. So fingers crossed that it all bears out like I want it to. Oh, let's do a touch-up right there. Perfect. Okay. And that's the shave. Good shave. Those blades are definitely sticking around. If it took off 3 days of growth, with most other blades, 3 days of growth would have tugged and hurt a bit. But these blades did not. So I think these are definitely worthy of more time in the soap thing shaved in. Let's do the old Bushmalt aftershave. Mix it up, shake it up. And this does have a rev limiter on it for those of you who are deeply concerned about peeling out. Oh wow, this is an entirely different scent. It's significantly less balsamic and less sweet. This is much more of a woody, boozy kind of scent, if that makes any sense. I'm going to put some more on, because I like how that feels. I'm just going to double up on this. Oh, man. Fan-freaking-tastic. Good stuff from Murphy and McNeil. You know, they're my all-time favorite artisan for a reason, and there's actually quite a lot of reasons for that. I'll have to explain it sometime. In any case, My final thoughts on this right here. If I exhausted it to an empty tub, would I buy it again? That's the first question. And with this one, oh, absolutely. You know, I've given artisans a lot of shit lately about making just these cop-out fragrance dupes. The reason I say that is because there's just so many artisans that have a Creed Aventus scent, a Creed Green Irish Tweed scent, a Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille scent. If you must make a fragrance dupe into a shaving soap, you know, have it be something unique like this Killian right here. You know, it's one of those things where I swear to God, if I see one more artisan do a Creed Aventus dupe, I'm going to shove it up their ass, like, without a doubt. But if you must do a fragrance dupe, at least have it be something interesting, like this. Like, all right, I've been on my soapbox long enough. The second question is, if I could do the Chosen 12 all over again, would I do this one? And for that question, the answer is no. If I could have picked the Chosen 12 and it wasn't a coin toss, I would have preferred either Phineas or the PAA version of it, the Irish Springs scent. Because right now in this St. Patrick's Day time frame, you know, late March, I'm kind of missing that scent just a little bit. I wish I had it. But either way, this is a really good scent, and you will be well served with this in your collection. And that's the video. I want to thank everybody for watching. Questions, comments, put them in the comment section of the video. Otherwise, this is Soap Thing telling you, shave like you mean it. Thanks for watching.